Jesus Christ be praised.
Hey, Hans!
I'm afraid not. My name's not Hans.
Good one.
God be with you, noble sir. I'm Henry of Skalitz, and I serve the Lord of Lipa.
Sir Kunesh of Belevitz, poor as a church mouse, but a free man once again.
I suppose it was nothing.
A free man again? What happened to you, Kunesh?
Ah, the greatest of misfortunes befell me. Figuring out this war is a job and a half.
Aye. This feuding between the royal brothers is damn muddled, all right.
Precisely. I gambled on Jobst over Sigismund a few years back. Only his Hungarian cavalry soon routed us, and I spent 2 years in captivity.
You were held captive? What was it like?
Hardly wondrous, I'll tell you that. But what irritated me most was being powerless to do anything. It's all those blasted Hungarians' fault. They can shove my silver up their arse and then lick it and kiss it for all I care.
I totally agree. Sigismund is holding his brother Wenceslas, the rightful king, under lock and key in Vienna.
What a bloody awful affair this war is. In my day, men would fight with honor and integrity, not stab each other in the back.
My sentiments exactly, Sir Kunesh.
Why, young man, I see you stand with Wenceslas, eh? I tell you, though, he's the one who dragged our land into this mess.
How so? It was the Hungarians who captured you, wasn't it?
Because I was a fool. But I've realized that the only competent king here is Sigismund.
I disagree with you, sir. Sigismund is a scoundrel who will do our land no good. Again?
That's what often happens in war. Still, for the good of the country, I'll side with Sigismund in the end, especially considering what a drunkard and fornicator that brother of his is.
Wenceslas stands up for his people.
Wenceslas can't even see the tip of his nose, and things are only getting worse.
Sigismund's no king. He's nothing but a murderous thief. I challenge you to a duel, sir.
What? You want to fight me? You're not a noble, but what do I care? Making you skip and jump will amuse me, whelp. You're holding it like a pig holds a bone. Come on. Too slow. Oh, Christ.
Enough!
You're holding it like a pig. Well,
You win!
It was a good fight, but you have been bested. You fought honorably, but you lost. Next time, be more careful who you challenge, you hear?
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you're frae. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yurko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. You're in for an ass kicking, you piece of shit! Ha! Ah! Ah! Ha! Ha! Ha!
Damn fool!
Come on, Yurko!
Stop
Ah!
beating him!
Hey, stop fighting!
I'll break your bones!
Ha! Fuck you!
I'd beat him even more! Someone better hold me
Ah!
You're a dead man! You know that?
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp!
The
Fucker!
executioner's sharpening his axe for you.
Ah! Ha! Ah! Ah! Ah!
You fight like an old hand!
Bastard!
How terrible.
I'd beat him even more! Shame on you!
You're a dead man! You know that?
Cut the bullshit and fight! Come on, mate. Oh, you wee
What in
bastard!
the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that line?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
so...
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yuriko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above. And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle? You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
You've got a stud farm here, don't you? Couldn't I borrow one of your horses?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. But you're in luck. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. This Yurko and his mates, who are they?
They're Lord Samin's kin. They're fine as long as they don't get too much booze inside them.
Only they're from Moravia, so they're never far from the booze.
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push comes to shove. And you can't say that about everyone.
And you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semin? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
I'd eat and drink my fill and check out the local maidens.
I hope Lord Samin didn't hear you. He'd be none too pleased to hear you want to take part in such a grand affair, just to stuff your face and roll an A with some drunken wench.
I beg your pardon, Captain, but that's what most fellas go to weddings for.
That's an unspoken truth, son. Unspoken, mind. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
We should probably get going.
That we should, but it's as dark as sin. Come back in the morning. If you want, stay here. You'll get a bit of grub in the kitchen, and you can sleep in the barn.
Greetings to you.
Wait, that's my Pebbles.
My girl!
I thought they killed you down by that pond.
You're not... You won't come here making trouble, fella.
You know what? No. You so much as try and get the guards, and I'll slice you up into a bloody pile before you take the first step.
Hang on. Leave me alone. We'll forget about it. I won't say a word to anyone. Just go.
What would you like?
That grey horse you have grazing here is mine.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
Who sold her to you?
I told you already. Some young lad. He wasn't from here.
What did he look like? Where'd he go?
You're a bit hasty, eh? He had black hair and a big beard. And he looked like he'd been sleeping in the woods. And his breath smelled like hell. But I couldn't tell you where he was headed.
She's my horse. I rode in on her from Ratai, in the retinue that was attacked down by the pond.
Right. You happen to need a new horse, and this one just happens to be the one you already own. Does it have your brand? It does not. So you are out of luck.
Look, you know they attacked an entourage by that pond, right?
I heard about it. That news spread through the land like wildfire.
And the one who sold it to you told you he found it by the pond, right?
Well, he did, aye.
So it's not entirely impossible she belonged to me.
Maybe not impossible, but I paid for her.
Aye, but just a few groschen. You said so yourself. Wouldn't you rather be in the good graces of someone who might have been part of that expedition?
Maybe so. All right, I'll give her to you. But you owe me one. Go and get her then. If she remembers you, she might even come when you whistle for her. Don't forget to get some proper tack as well.
I need to get my horse scrubbed down and its tack cleaned.
I'll get right to it, but it will take a while. Coin up front.
I changed my mind.
God be with you, neighbor.
Greetings to you.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskobit.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskobit ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
This must be the ugliest horse I've seen in my life.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
Sword?
Don't get ahead of yourself, laddie. A sword belongs in noble hands. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
Get a move on, youngster. You're about to get the lesson of... So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Ah. 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 Ah.
You're no match for me.
Jesus, I'm hit.
You're no match for me.
Jesus, I'm...
Come here. I want to tell you something.
Oh, that's a lot of blood.
Henry,
You should stop
come
it.
here. Come here, son. What do you say, son?
Whew. You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
God's truth, sir. You didn't disgrace yourself, but I can see the young'un has spirit. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Scallops, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
What a nag. Phooey. Watch where you're going! Keep your eyes on the road, you fool!
Wow.
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
As you wish, sir. Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now. On account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semine is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semine would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like that pair have...
That'll be all. Thanks.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
I didn't say a word about you, sir.
There's a good lad. And what about the cart?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yitchin!
Sir, I could send a message to the Yitchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
You'll be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir.
I will. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place, but I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
Did you see a cart drive through here by any chance?
All the time, friend, from Troskovich to Yitchin and back. Sometimes even a slow cart with a dead body.
I'm looking for a cart loaded with goods from the blacksmith. Probably moving fast.
Now that you mention it, I do recall something of the like. They even dropped a sack of charcoal. When you go out of the cemetery onto the road, you should see it right there on the right-hand side.
Very well.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the car back.
I just hope we find the horses too. Young Milker here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Gutenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's a tough question, sir. But nothing happens on God's green earth without his will. If that's the way God wants it, there's nothing you can do.
None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
Blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
And someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Yeah. Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you, they got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. Still can't be sure of anything.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why's that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the ropemaker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins, and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows, and the whirring of the spinning wheel...
You never know what cross
Listen.
folk have to bear.
Somebody there.
Hans, let's go and start again. I'm trying to tell a story for amusement, not listen to your supposedly educated clap
we do now? I heard more than 2 voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slattergo used to come make a fire here and jump over it. And so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
From an hole in the ground. Stumbled with a priest. He showed me only pictures and taught me a lot. I stumble with a priest. Pigs can fly. And Gould's name is really something. He's got a miserable pair of tits on him. You don't say. You really saw that? I'm not kidding.
Those definitely aren't the
Enzo,
blacksmith's
tell him
hands.
I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
True. He ain't yanking your pizzle. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. She had one different than the other.
All right. That ain't normal. Everyone must be laughing at the wedding. Why? Some people might like it. I don't know who'd like that. And did they do something?
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Sure am, sir.
I wouldn't worry about Henry, sir. He showed us mettle and training. So, how are we gonna do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
Someone could go back up top and try to take one of them down with an arrow before we charge them. There's a good view of the camp from up there.
Good idea. Borrow my crossbow. My shoulder's giving me jip anyway.
All right, sir.
Climb up top, and as soon as you shoot the first time, we'll charge them. And make sure you don't hit one of us.
Right you are, Captain.
Amos? For fuck's sake, you was never ordained Enzo. Stumbled in the forest chapel by Bolivar. I fucking ordained you. Just 'cause old Stumble poured some pond water on your head in the woods don't mean a damn thing. Stumble's a priest.
Stumble is a drunken old fool who claims he was a priest.
Oh, you're gonna die!
That's the last one.
Now I'll show you! You should have fucking stayed out of it. Already, are you? Hey!
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here. And none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
Give me a moment.
Hurry up, lad.
We can get going.
That's just grand. Let's go then. Hold on, lad. Give me back my crossbow. You weren't thinking of keeping it, were you?
Aw. Has your shoulder stopped hurting, Captain?
Shut up and hand it over, smart ass.
Of course. You did a good job.
I should bloody think so.
I thought we had everything clear, Venza. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
It makes no difference to me, Venza. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time at the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours.
Ahem, gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. As long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
I'll show you.
Hammer them, men!
Well, finish this. Don't spare him. That's it.
You're no good for us, fucker! Right.
It's a wonder you're still standing.
I'm on with that line.
You fight like an old hag!
I'm all yours! We'll kick their asses! Yeah! Got him! Bear him! Fuck you!
I'll sort you out nicely. You're no match for us, fucker. You never saw that coming. Christ, I don't have the whole day for you. Nice hit. Damn, that weakling was useless. Ugh. That's a lot.
Hey, Henry, are you listening? Come here.
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my hands. Besides, you're the one who's supposed to keep watch.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry.
Everything.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
Can't you think of any other way out of this?
Well, you could let me go.
Why would I?
Maybe for coin.
Carry on.
Well, Jules wasn't entirely wrong. We wanted to fuck him over and take the cart to Yachin.
Only it didn't work out.
As you can see, his fellows caught us on the way. We had to pull the cart over and haul the goods up to the rocks. But before Jules had a chance to count the loot, we skimmed off a bit. Well, that is, my cousin Franzi did. I had enough work hauling them sacks. If you let me go, well, I'll tell you where the loot is.
And what did he take?
I don't really know. But he found something on the cart, nicely wrapped up, so he swiped it. He said it looked valuable.
So you want to bribe me with something, and you don't even know what it is?
Don't worry, it's something valuable. Franzi has a nose for these things.
All right then. Tell me where you hid it, and I'll let you go.
The thing is, I don't actually know. Well, only Franzi does. He drew himself a map with charcoal, well, so he wouldn't forget.
So besides some dodgy map, you actually have nothing for me?
That's not nothing. I reckon I gave you some pretty valuable information.
You do you?
So you'll let me go?
Not a chance.
But I gave you what you wanted.
No. I didn't want anything. You're the one who started talking about coin, and in the end, you gave me nothing but a story that might or might not be true. So no, I'm not letting you go. You won't yield!
I told you. No!
All right. I was hoping for a peaceful end to it. But if that's how you want it...
You're in for an arse kicking, you piece of shit!
You're a dead man. You know that?
Cut the bullshit and fight!
You fight like an old hag.
Bastard! Now you're finished! Show me what you're made of then, you swine!
Show your stuff.
I didn't want to nick the cart, honest.
I had to kill him, unfortunately. He refused to surrender.
Don't feel bad about it, lad. He'd have swung anyway. At least you gave him a quick end.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Sameen. Want to ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with these hands.
What's going to happen to that other hand?
We'll see. He was tied up, and he swears he's innocent. Yeah, either way, Gnarly will get it out of him. I'd like to find out what actually happened.
Could you wait a while? I'd better just check that I haven't lost anything while running around here.
All right, but make it quick. I was happy to get out of Sameen for a while, but now I'm looking forward to being back at my own fireside.
Is that offer of a ride still open?
Sure, if you want.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Vence's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the cart to Gules.
Shut up, Francie. You both told me you'll bring me the cart, and then you try to fuck me over.
So, you wanted to steal the cart for yourself, and you still got caught?
I didn't want to steal anything. That was Vencer.
Bollocks! You confessed when we caught you.
Only 'cause you forced me to.
You're prize idiots in any case. If you hadn't gone around the rocks, you could have got away. But I've got a big heart, so I sent the lads to give you a hand. And I didn't trust you in the slightest. For good reason. Although...
Where are you taking us?
To Sameen, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realize you can't execute me just like that.
That depends. By rights, I should send a plea to the royal court to ask if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. And parchment's expensive. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily take the risk and cut your head off without permission.
I can see how much you respect the rule of law here.
Eh, you're quite the joker. Invoking the law, are you?
And what will happen to me?
If you really are innocent, nothing will happen to you.
I am. It was Venser who roped me into it. I swear on my ma's soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Ah. Every good-for-nothing I've dragged to the gallows swore on his ma. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was pure as the driven snow. But this arsehole don't think twice about damning her. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
The captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
Ain't it grand you're here to make that clear for us? And now shut it. The two of you. I don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout. Right, we're in Troskovitz. This is where you get off, Henry.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do.
And drop by Sameen sometime. You may be wet behind the ears still, but you're a laugh to have around.
Thanks. You're not bad yourself, for an old fart.
You're not too old to get spanked, lad.
You're not from here, eh? Around here, you need a light after dark. And lo, there was light, and he saw that it was good. Now move along.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad so far.
What's that sound? What are you doing prowling about here?